the end of the last podcast, we said bingo is a game, but you, in real life, you may have heard your parents, if you're old enough, you may have said it as well. Once in a while, you are saying something and somebody agrees, or somebody says something and you agree as that being the fact, then you say bingo. That means you hit the spot, you hit the target, right? So imagine that climate change has got all these issues. We need to do all these things to solve the climate problem. So maybe when everything aligns and we are really on the way to solving the climate change problem, could be just meaning that we made sure that we will stay below 2 degrees C by 2100. There are a lot of issues associated with this 2 degrees centigrade thing, but you don't have to worry about it right now. Just think of it as a nice round number for the global warming that we need to stay below by 2100, which is very far. As I said, I will definitely not be around by then, but you will be, you may be, and your children may definitely be there, and grandchildren and so on. So let's see what is needed for us to go bingo for climate change. Okay, so this is of course the book's author's personal take on this whole thing, so you have to read and figure out a lot of things on your own, because even though this book is by a person who believes in climate change and the climate impacts and points you to doing many things to help and what we can do as a species and so on, there are still many details here that many pros and cons and many values and so on and so forth that you can learn about depending on how old you are. So here is a turkey saying put an X through the event as soon as they happen. And here is a garden gecko. It's saying and add a few yourself. Give this book extra shelf life. Well, that's the author trying to sell the book. Is that the best thing you can do for climate? Spreading awareness is always important, but there are many ways to do it. Giving this book is one of the ways. So palm trees at the North Pole, and there is another one called gecko in your yard. It's hard to say how things will go from here. Every day there are new studies, new weather records, new initiatives, so new problems and new solutions or potential solutions. So let's look at climate bingo. Let's just read off the squares and try to get a sense. Your first special occasion dinner without meat. If yes, put a X through it. Let's go across and then each row. Outdoor heaters banned. So you don't, you sit in a restaurant outdoors, it's very cold, people want to sit outside, but it's cold, so they want a heater, and you're basically heating the whole world because it's in an open space. Can they be banned? First cruise to the North Pole. Let's hope that the Arctic sea ice does not disappear so that you can just cruise to the North Pole. Okay, so if that happens, that could be bad news. Flying becomes twice as expensive so that very few people fly, but this has other issues. Are you punishing somebody who is not rich but must travel for some reason, for work or for meeting family or for visiting something, for cultural exchange and so on and so forth? Record for highest temperature broken 2023. Now I am recording this in June of 2024. Every month in 2023 and every month in 2024 have broken new records, but in the global mean. But you can also look at local temperature records broken, and many local temperature records have been broken as well, so keep tracking them. Shishmaref disappears. Now you remember what Shishmaref was. It was a kind of I even forgot. I should remember, children. This is criminal that I don't remember. My iPad is going to tell me in a minute what Shishmaref is. A city in Alaska that is melting away and collapsing and sinking, and we talked about it, but I forgot about it. Sorry. First toucan in Texas shouldn't be there, but you can keep on expanding the horizon of temperature convenient for many species, and they keep going from the tropics, which are, let's say, getting very warm, to keep moving to cooler temperatures, and or they are let's see, a toucan is like a tropical bird, are neotropical birds in the family of something something. They're very colorful, big beaks and so on. So species shift. If you see a toucan in Texas, you definitely want to record it. First, Hyperloop route opens so that people are flying less and they are flying, zipping through Hyperloop, which is doing things without emitting so much as an airplane does. Maximum speed is reduced for vehicles so that they don't run very inefficiently on battery or fossil fuel. Leaf blowers are banned so that you can let the leaves stay there and become part of the soil carbon. Sports teams travel by train to away games, so that if they're playing at home, they are of course taking the bus or whatever to the field. If they have to go to another town, they also take a train and not fly as a team. White asphalt in cities, so you have increased the albedo. First school trip on a hydrogen bus, so that you are really going in a bus that is not using fossil fuels. Hopefully the hydrogen is green hydrogen, so it was produced from whatever methane or water using renewable energy and not fossil fuel or some other energy. Your parents get rid of the second car, let's say, or both cars, or maybe they had only one car and they said we will do without cars. Palm trees in Quebec, that's not good news. Last coal-fired power station closes for whatever reason, because the country became very aware of how bad it is for health, if not climate change, or it just became economically unviable, or you produce so much renewable energy that you don't even need the coal-fired plant anymore. Okay, so what else is solar panel roof tiles? Willie Soon, the scientist who keeps writing that climate change is not real, admits that he got it wrong. Bingo if that happens. First affordable energy from nuclear fusion power station. Nuclear fusion becomes successful, and then suddenly we have so much renewable energy that we are able to breathe a sigh of relief and start decarbonizing everything else. Wind turbines taller than Eiffel Tower, so we are producing clean wind energy as well. More than 500 particles of CO2 per million particles of air. We are at 420 something, and if we go to 500, that means we haven't done much at all for climate change. The last pika dies. Many species are suffering, and you don't want this to happen. Ban on palm oil so that forests are not cut and palm oil is not grown and sold and transported everywhere else. And LA, Los Angeles abandoned because of forest fires. So if the western US keeps getting drier and wildfires keep on spreading and the LA becomes unlivable, that would be like a sci-fi movie, and hope that it's not real. Doesn't happen in reality. A new traffic sign says don't stop with engine running, so that you are reducing the idling emissions. First coats made from solar cell textile, so that you wear something that has energy producing ability, so you can cool yourself or warm yourself, or the microbes can be killed by the solar power and it gets cleaned without water and soap. Wow, that would be nice. Mega battery invented for solar and wind energy, so you can save it and use it for days and weeks. And more electric cars than gasoline powered cars are seen everywhere. Electric planes, so that they don't emit as much. And ski lifts in the Rockies are removed so that we don't waste so much energy and money, and we don't keep destroying snow slopes. Ban on long distance vacations. Well, you have to think about this. Vacations are vacations, but you also have a lot of advantages in terms of employment, cultural exchanges, exposure to other languages and museums, and so on and so forth. History, first seaweed power plant station, another renewable energy, and here we go, finally getting close to bingo. Donald Trump gets the difference between weather and climate, and he says, I now understand, and I'm going to do everything to make ourselves reduce emissions and increase clean power and so on. First, water war, not good news. Some regions get so dry that they will fight for water. Kilimanjaro glacier melts already. The glacier in Venezuela may end up melting away, will be the first glacier to be lost since industrial revolution. Wine growing in Scandinavia because it's gotten so warm in France that you cannot grow vineyards anymore. Record high temperatures hit Siberia. Some people may think it's good because they can grow wheat in Siberia, but it just means everywhere else is much warmer as well and dangerous. First climate neutral school open, so that imagine your school or your children's school has no emissions. It takes out whatever it emits, or it doesn't emit anything. Polar bears gone extinct. Would be sad day. Malaria in France. Tropical diseases are moving north, and you don't want this. Cultured meat for sale, and you are happy to eat it. Maybe even chocolate dipped insects for protein and so on, to reduce agricultural emissions and so on. And the United States is back in the Paris Climate Accord, and Joe Biden already did that, and let's hope Trump doesn't come back and pull United States out of the Paris Agreement again. Cephalopod infestation in the North Sea. That's bad news, because that means all the good fish and so on have died away, and Kiribati is underwater because the sea level has risen so much, and chocolate is unaffordable because the crops are not. Cocoa is become very difficult to grow, and Formula 1 racing is abolished because people just go round and round and burn tremendous amount of fuel, but it's entertainment. If it's electric and it's not emitting anything, it's carbon neutral, maybe we can still enjoy Formula 1. So putting up signs saying everything has to be banned or closed is not a good thing in the end. The idea is to make energy carbon free and make the system carbon free. A hurricane in France means it has warmed so much that hurricanes are going all over the place, and advertising travel is prohibited because you want people to travel less. Is that a good thing? Not sure, but anyway, all these mixture of things you have to worry about: bad things, good things, exciting things, solutions, problems, and so on. So bingo! That looks like Trump, and let's hope something good happens this year. So that's the end of this book as a section in this course on climate for kids. We have lots of other sections that you can look up, pick and choose, and follow up based on what is understandable to you and what is of more interest, so you can follow up and so on. As usual, as always, talk to teachers, parents, siblings, friends, neighbors, and don't talk to strangers unless you have parents' permission to do that. Okay? Alright kids, see you in the next book, Climate Change. I hit the wrong button and stopped, but it's okay. Good. Enjoy the course. Send questions. Okay? Bye bye children.